this episode, we discuss some of our favorite places to take someone out on a date in Los Angeles. So if you're the romantic type that loves to show your significant other a good time, then you'll love this episode of the Los Angeles Podcast. Hello, I'm Joe Copeland, the lifetime resident of Los Angeles and a man who loves pina coladas and getting lost in the rain.
Hello, and I'm Jay Guzman, also a co-host of the Los Angeles Podcast and also a formidable squatter. I like to squat wherever I can.
Yes, and he spends plenty of time in my spare room, so
Yes,
there's a lot of truth to that. All right, well, before we get started with our show, we'd like to thank our patrons of the Los Angeles Podcast. Our patrons get our show a day early. They have access to our bonus episode where we discuss current events here in Los Angeles. We just finished up recording our bonus episode right now, and we've been talking a lot about how the city is shut down due to the coronavirus mandate of self-quarantining and what people are doing during this coronavirus crisis. To become a patron, head on over to the losangelespodcast.com/support. All right, so this is part 2 of our episode on where to take someone out on a date in LA. We ran long on the last episode because there's just so many places. Los Angeles is an exciting city, so many things to do, and we really can't cover the hundreds and thousands of places to go, but we thought we'd share with you some of our favorite places. Mm-hmm. So what do you got in mind, Jay? You know, you meet somebody, you want to take them out somewhere. Where would you take them?
You know, I always remember dates where there's physical activity and conversation and something nice to see. So I was just jogging my memory, and all those little trips where you go to a hiking trail or you go to a beach destination, you might walk a little bit and then you sit down or you ride a bike or whatever. Those dates are always great. LA has a lot of beachfront boardwalks where you can rent bikes. Those kinds of dates at Venice Beach, taking a bike down to Marina del Rey, or even south of Marina del Rey, going that route all the way down to like Dockweiler or Redondo Beach. Those long, beautiful paths are great. And it's such a good exercise to ride a bike with a girl, and you can chit chat. And the best part, of course, is when you see her sitting on the bike seat. You can enjoy that bonus content right there. Yeah, I've done that, and those are really memorable experiences.
And the sore butt is very memorable as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the kind of person that usually has the sore backside from riding a bike. I know other people do seem to have problems with it, but my butt is specially designed for bike seats.
It's made of steel, yeah. I get a sore backside and a sore front side.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, speaking of scenic places, I don't know if you've ever taken the scenic drive of Mulholland Highway from Woodland Hills all the way to Hollywood. Have you ever done that? Done the whole drive?
I have. On multiple occasions, I've done it with work-related trips, and then other times when I remember doing the Gray Line tour bus, the tour van. It took us along a good bit of it from like the Hollywood freeway all the way to like maybe Laurel Canyon. So it wasn't the entirety, but it was a good portion of it, and it was very scenic and really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I done it a couple times, probably a couple years ago. I thought I'd go on that drive. Took Jasmine over there just to, just enjoy the day, spend a couple hours driving.
Yeah.
And there's a, nice lookout spot like every mile to go and take a picture,
That's right.
look on the valley side, and then ultimately head on down to the Hollywood Bowl area where you go off that overlook where there's the Hollywood Bowl down there. There's a concert going. You hear people cheering and see the lights from the concert. Yeah, it's a nice way to, spend a couple hours.
Yeah. And that's also with Runyon Canyon. I think that's the same spot where Runyon Canyon entrance is on the top end.
Yeah.
Right over the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, it's called somebody Jerome Overlook.
Yeah.
So that's a great place to take shots of Hollywood that you'll see on Instagram.
Yeah.
Quite often. You can see the Hollywood sign, you can see the Griffith Observatory, you can
And
see
the
the Hollywood
freeway.
Bowl, and see the Hollywood Freeway going all the way to downtown LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a spot.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Hollywood tour buses there as well.
Yeah. That's actually one of the favorite things that I enjoy is when you see people touring, you look at their faces and you're like, let me guess where they're from. They look like they're from Indiana, or I can tell they're from Florida, depending on what they look like. It's always kind of cool.
Yeah.
To see people and try to guess like, they're from, off the continental US somewhere else.
Yeah, I've noticed that. The people that grew up in LA have a certain look, certain mannerism. I don't know how to describe it. I can't describe it, but I know when somebody's not from Los Angeles, not from California, they to me, they look different. It's like, we don't have that style face and that style of hair or that way they walk or, look for some reason. Yeah.
One of the things I always look at is their shoes. A lot of the dudes have different shoes. They're like popular brands like Adidas or Nike, but they look different. I'm like, I've never seen that shoe in the U.S. This guy's from Europe somewhere,
Oh, okay, okay.
They have like very different style shoe. I've always noticed that was one of the quick giveaways that would tell me that they're not locals,
And when they're wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats, they're definitely not from L.A.
They're from some other part of the country, yeah.
They're from Palm Springs.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, we went to the fair during the summer there, the Pomona Fair. And, you kind of out east.
Yeah.
Heading out to the desert communities there, Riverside, San Bernardino. And not all the women, but a significant amount of women were wearing cowboy boots, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you don't really see that in
L.A. proper.
Yeah. I said, they must live in those Inland Empire counties where that's kind of the style. Yeah,
it is a very common look, and girls can pull off anything, but especially cowboy boots. Girls look great in them, so it's a very welcoming look.
Yeah.
They
it's very
just
sexy.
put a little dress or little shorts or whatever. Yeah, jeans.
Yeah.
I prefer the dresses.
Yeah.
Pomona's a great little spot to hang out when the fair's on. I've seen some good concerts there. It's a really good spot to take a date. You can see, a band that's relatively popular, like Lynyrd Skynyrd or, some, old version of, good classic American rock. And they'll be playing there, and it's still a great, venue. It's affordable and a nice little spot to take a girl out on a date and, maybe get a turkey leg while you're walking around.
I love the deep fried bacon wrapped butter.
It's my top menu there. That sounds so good.
I had some chocolate covered bacon last time I was there and I thought, it was actually really good.
That's crazy. Chocolate bacon. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so many good spots. Another one is if you're, into the San Pedro area or something, they have a really great cliff area that drops down into the, it's elevated, but anyways, have a little cliff and you can hike your way down to the beach and it's really rocky, but yet it's phenomenal. It's kind of close to the Trump golf course down there.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of that beach, but if you were to look on Google, you can find the Trump golf course and just a little more east of that.
Palos Verdes, right?
I think Palos Verdes is a little more north, west of the golf course, but just south of, southeast of the Trump course. There's a really great beach with, anyways, it's like a nice little park on top that has an overlook of the beach. But if you hike down, it leads you to a beach that's, lined with cliffs and beautiful mountains.
Nice.
It's a really fun spot.
Yeah.
And
When I used to live in the South Bay, I would go down to Palos Verdes Peninsula and
Yeah.
hike down to the beach, you know? And it'd be practically deserted, you know? The only people that were there were essentially locals that knew their way around, that, hey, if I hike down this mountainside,
yes,
there's a nice beach over there to just relax and chill,
yeah.
do a little swimming. It's nice.
And on a good day, if the weather's really well or, cooperative, you have a really good sight of Catalina Island, south, if you view south. And if the sun is just right and there's not, immense smog or fog, you can see it pretty easily.
It just reminded me that the beaches there are very not well traversed. So there's a lot of wildlife there. And one time saw a dead seal.
Oh, wow.
Washed up. It was really stinking the place. I was like, it's not a big seal, not a little one, a huge one, probably weighed, I don't know, 1,000 pounds or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be exaggerating. I don't know how much seals weigh, but.
Yeah, you're probably right. Several hundred pounds.
Yeah. And then another time I was hiking down the mountain there to go to my, little hiding place where I would just go and relax. And I almost stepped on a snake.
Oh, man.
And I screamed. It just came out,
Yeah.
It was like a reflex. Ah!
Yeah. It's a defense mechanism.
Yo, man, because I was just wearing flip-flops,
Oh,
and
yeah.
of course my flip-flop, went down the side of the mountain. And the snake scurried away, and I had to hop the rest of the way to go.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I was real careful with looking every step I took, because the mountain is not just like dirt. It's, it's got brush as you go down.
Yeah.
It's a little trail there, but it's not very wide.
So note to self, if you take a girl on a hike down the beach, don't scream when you see a snake. That'll be all she remembers.
That happened one time. I had a girlfriend. She was from South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And we were out on the beach. This is Hilton Head. Okay, really nice, exclusive area.
Uh-huh.
And the beaches over there are very natural. And unlike, our beaches are beautiful here in the Santa Monica Bay. You won't find any animals, running around in the sand. Well, over there are crabs, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of embracing this girl. We're kind of hugging.
Yeah.
And I just see this big crab running, near me, and I just screamed. I just kind of came out, "Wah!" Right? Oh man, she kind of looked at me like, what kind of coward are you? And I said, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm not afraid of no little crab.
I love it. I'm just kidding.
Just playing it up,
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's hard to regain your man card after you've been emasculated by a stupid crab. You're like, oh, that fucker screwed my date up. I was doing so well up until that moment.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as a tough country guy, but all it takes is a little movement in the dark to
spook you out.
Make my hair stand straight up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I've reacted terribly to some scary moments too. I remember I was a passenger in a car and somebody turned onto a one-way street by mistake in downtown LA. And as soon as they did, and I realized we're going in the wrong direction, I ended up screaming too in the car, and it was kind of comical. But it's a bummer to get caught off guard and have a natural reaction like a scream.
All right. Another place, since we were talking about the beach, I was actually just there this week, was Redondo Beach. Just south of the Redondo Beach Pier is a nice section, on the way to the Palos Verdes Peninsula. Several miles of open beach that as you're driving, you got the beautiful view, and you could park, alongside. It's above a small cliff. We're talking maybe just 150 feet above the sand there. And I like to go there all the time just to hang out, just to get a quick view, relax, sit on the benches there, sit on the wall.
Yeah.
And have a lunch, enjoy the sunset if it's, the sun's going down.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken girls out there too, Yeah, when the sun's going down. Actually, one time I took this girl out. Sun went down and the moon came up.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah.
That was
let's
fast.
go. No, was the moon coming up or was the moon going down? I think the moon was going down. Yeah, I think the moon goes down.
Okay.
So we were watching a moonset, I guess. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
very
kind of
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different kind of a sunset. Yeah. If you see the moon and setting.
Yeah, it was going up and down. I remember it was just very, very unique, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things you could really only see at the beach,
Yeah.
right? Because
The
as
horizon.
it's going down, the moon gets really big, kind of like
Yeah.
in the movies. Where over here in the valley, the moon
Always.
it's going beyond the mountains, but the mountains are so big, you don't really get to see the moon
Until much later.
enlarged like a pizza pie.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I have this one memory of the moon being so massive. And in my mind, it was like bigger than anything I'd ever seen it. It was distinctively large. And it was so easy to spot like parts of the sun, or I'm sorry, parts of the moonscape. And I just had this, I insist to this day that was exactly how I remember it. But yeah, it had to have been just a perception of the sun or of the moon being so, low on the horizon that it just looked larger than average or something. But yeah.
Yeah. No, there's atmospheric conditions that cause the, bend the light waves, cause the image of the moon to be magnified.
Yeah.
During certain events. So yeah.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
I've noticed that too. Sometimes I'll see a moon that's bigger than average. It's like, I wonder why. It's just nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, I got another one. Or do you want to go next?
No, I'm out.
Here's one that I like to do to someone if they've never done it before, and that is to go on a hike to the Hollywood sign.
Oh yeah. That's a bitch an experience. I've never done it, but I know that everybody wants to have at least.
You know what's funny is if you grew up here in LA, you probably never hiked to the Hollywood sign. You
Yeah.
drive by it all the time and it means nothing to you. If you're a tourist or someone that, came from another city, it's probably one of the things they've already done.
Yeah.
So, I'll just ask them, hey, you want to go on a hike? Yeah, where to? How about the Hollywood sign? Have you been up there? No. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's always great for taking photos and selfies, as you approach it and hike, even behind the Hollywood sign. That's definitely proof that you've been there.
Yeah.
It's when you're looking at Hollywood spelt backwards, right? And if it's a good, clear day, you got a nice view of Hollywood down below.
Yeah.
And the lake down there, Lake Hollywood. So it's a bit tricky to get there. I know I used to just get there a little bit early and park in the neighborhoods. But from what I've heard, because it's been a while since I've actually parked there to go hiking, is that a lot of the neighbors have complained, because now people can find the fastest way to get there because of Google Maps and their GPS. They've even asked these companies to not direct people to the Hollywood sign, because they clog up the neighborhoods. But I don't know. I figure if, you're rich enough to live up there in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah. You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It just comes with the territory. But if you ever wanted to go up there, just search it on Google. And my advice is if you could park close to the entrance of this park. It's actually a city park. I think it's part of Griffith Park. There's like a pedestrian gate you go through.
Yeah.
And then it's only about a half an hour to walk to the Hollywood sign. But there's no trees. So, bring some water and, of course, bring your camera.
Yeah.
And if you can't park, you could always, you're hiking anyway, so what's another, 20, 30 minutes of walking just to get to the entrance to the park.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to do that, just call an Uber and have them drop you off up there.
One of my favorite spots near the Hollywood sign is the little park. It's not really a park. It's more like a little stopping point right between the Hollywood sign and Lake Hollywood. the sign is very close to you, so you can photograph yourself very easily next to that spot. And
Yeah.
I think you can access it from Barham and also from some other side road that might take you up to the Lake Hollywood area there.
Yeah, I know the spot you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really far away from the spot that I'm talking about, which is the hiking trail there.
Right.
I mean, you could hike from there too, but it's kind of
It seems a little sideways and lengthy.
yeah. But yeah, that is a good spot, and definitely there's the tourist vans and a lot of people there, and parking is an issue there as well.
And I think why it works is because there's really no structures and there's really no trees blocking your view. It's kind of a wide open spot where you can get a good picture of the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, that is the absolute best place to get a picture of the Hollywood sign. Even better than actually hiking to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
Because when you hike there, you're actually kind of off to the side.
And behind it a bit.
And then behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas the spot you're talking about by Lake Hollywood, you are literally, it's, right under it in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then going to the In-N-Out Burger down the street was a good reward as well after the lengthy hike. Right there on whatever boulevard that is.
Yeah, those are good places because, you're getting some exercise and you get hungry, so you go out to get something to eat, and that makes you feel good as well. So, yeah, that's a good day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let me see here. What else do I got on my list here? Let me think here. I didn't really write the list this time. I had a list, but I forgot it.
Yeah. Here's some other places that I think we could recommend. Burbank is a nice little city right off of the 5 freeway, just a little bit northeast of the downtown LA area. But it's loaded with a lot of good pedestrian-friendly shops and restaurants.
Yes, right there, San Fernando Road.
Yes.
Whole media center mall, and they got a movie theater there, or Yogurtland, Indian restaurants, steakhouses.
Yeah, lots of good pedestrian-friendly stuff where you park your car. They have parking structures that make it super easy.
Yeah.
And then they have, normal shops, Ross's, and any other kind of goofy little places that you can go in there and find something cool to look at with the date.
That area is really nice. I remember before they built that mall, I would actually take the bus down San Fernando Road.
Yeah.
And it was pretty decrepit. And once they brought the mall in there, and
it turned it around.
Yeah, now you got all the nice shops there. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
I used to love Gordon Biersch. They
That's
got
right.
a brewery restaurant there.
Yeah.
Get good beer, get good food.
There's a Barney's Beanery, which is like a little, unique little bar that's also in that same space.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a cool little spot to go and hang
I didn't
out.
know that. I know there's one in West Hollywood that's very popular.
It's identical. Really nice spot. Yeah, I've gone there and played pool and hung out with a few friends.
Okay.
There's also a comedy store just a few blocks from that.
Yeah.
I think it's called Flappers.
I've always wanted to go there because we don't have any comedy stores in the Valley.
Yeah.
Not stores, comedy venues, yeah. So that one popped up a few years ago.
Yeah, and I've gone several times, and it's really a nice spot. They have decent celebrity comedians. I've seen, I can't think of a few right now off the top of my head, but I've seen some quality comedians that were really charming and memorable. They sell really good food and, of course, decent beers. And it wasn't too expensive. And they always encourage you to come back by giving you free passes or free, some kind of coupon for the next visit. So it's a really good experience.
I'm definitely going there then.
Yeah, and the parking is the same, just plenty of parking in Burbank, which is great. That's what I really like about that place.
Yeah.
Compared to anywhere in downtown you go, it's like you're on your own, find your own parking spot.
Yeah, and all the parking is there free over in Burbank. That's nice too, and they got multi-deck parking structures there.
That's right.
So generally they don't run out of parking.
Yeah. Flappers is a quality spot.
Okay. I'm gonna head over there real soon because it's been a long time since I've been to a comedy club.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to drive all the way to Pasadena or Hollywood.
Yeah. Pasadena does have the Laugh Factory or something similar to that name. And
Ice House.
Ice House, there you go. Yeah, that's a good spot too, but yeah, Pasadena is a little further out.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to go to somewhere in the valley that's got comedians on the comedy circuit. Okay, let me think here. All right, I got another place that I'm sure you've been to, Jay, and that's the Redondo Beach Pier.
Oh, yeah. Good spot.
Yeah, especially if you're with an Asian girl, because they've got a lot of good seafood restaurants, and they're fresh, like if you like live crabs.
Yeah.
Okay. Asian girls just go crazy over crabs. I don't know what it is.
I've had the live crabs. I don't recommend them.
I'm not a big fan, okay? It's just so much work to bust those crabs open and get the juices all over you.
Yeah.
But it's a good place, and they have those Cajun-style seafood restaurants as well, where they'll serve you like a pound of shrimp in a plastic bag with chili oil and garlic and corn on the cob and seasoned fries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good place there at the Redondo Beach Pier that I went to the past couple times in the past couple years. And they've expanded the pier, too, to where there's a nice walking path over there where there's a lot of people fishing. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they got the arcade there if you kind of like to play a little air hockey.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy.
That's like the perfect date game, by the way. Like air hockey with a girl. Yeah, it's like perfect. They get to like lean forward. Their shirt drops down a little bit. You get a little extra cleavage visual. It's a really great game. Plus, you get to see how competitive she can be. And
yeah, exactly. See how coordinated her hands are.
That's right. Yeah, you rank her. You get a 1 to 10 scale.
But you don't want her too coordinated. I actually had a roommate when I lived over in Torrance, and she was an alcoholic, okay? Which means she spent a lot of time in bars, okay?
Yeah.
And she had a foosball table in her rec room, right? And I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, let's play some foosball, Karen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Karen was at the time, about 15 years older than me. Okay, I was 35. She was 50-something, okay? And she would kick my ass. Okay, I couldn't score a single point, and she would rub it in my face every time.
She's like, "I'm going to charge you more rent for losing."
Oh man, she was good. Okay, and it's like, man, you know why you're so good? It's because you lived in those bars, right? You played this for hours on end, day after day.
She had to defend herself against games. I'm sure people waged all kinds of bets. Like, if you lose, you got to do this, and she's like, "I'm not losing."
No, she never let up. I never scored a single point against her.
You were like discouraged. I'm never going to play her. For anything.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy playing, but she was so such a what's the word?
Perfectionist.
No, when you win and you gloat.
Oh,
okay,
that's horrible. Yeah,
the opposite of a sore loser. Okay.
Yeah.
An inglorious winner or something.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
So, Redondo Beach Pier. Yeah, it's got the arcade there. It's got some nice little shops there, restaurants. Yeah. There's this bar right in the middle of the pier, and it's round, and it's got like a round, kind of like a Vietnamese hat type of roof. And that is a cool place to go when the sun goes down because it's the highest point. And you can see quite a ways away, and just a great place to be, Yeah.
I remember I went down there on a date, and we ended up going and renting those little paddle boats that you can rent right underneath the pier. And it was really a nice spot because the marina also wraps by the pier. So you're really in close proximity to feeling safe, to being visual and waving at people, looking at you, doing your paddling, other boats that look really kind of cool. And it was a fun little activity, especially if, you're not in the middle of the sunshine or the middle of the day, the latter afternoon. Yeah. It was a good, memorable date, and it wasn't very expensive to rent those paddle boats.
Oh, okay.
And I do remember one of the things, they had several little outcroppings where the seals could hang out. There was tons of seals, of course. They reek, but you could cruise as close as you want to them, as much as you can tolerate, the smell, and check them out, because they're curious little animals. So they like to engage in eyeball, it's a stare down,
Yeah.
You look at them, they look at you. You're like, who's going to do the gesture first, and
Yeah.
it's a good activity to do and a nice spot to do it at.
Yeah, it is a nice beach there if you want to,
Yeah.
put on your shorts and your flip-flops and go, lay out on the beach and do a little swimming too. And then in the evening, there's a bar there that serves, I'm not kidding, probably 100 beers on tap. Okay.
Wow.
I forgot the name of the bar. I think it's called Nachos Bar. You can't miss it. It's the only rock and roll bar there, and there's a band that plays there probably every night, but I've been there many a time on the weekends. And, and they got a nice dance floor and a nice atmosphere where people they're middle-aged mostly, because they're playing a lot of music from the 70s and 80s, right? They're up there dancing on the dance floor, just having a good time.
Yeah. That sounds really cool. I've never been to that Naja place, but that sounds like a nice spot.
Oh, yeah, cool. I remember this one time, these guys, they're just young kids, probably, late 20s. And they're all dressed up in costumes. One guy was a construction worker, another guy was a doctor, another guy, I don't know, maybe it's an Indian. I don't know, maybe they're trying to be the village people or something.
I think it was the real village people.
And they were there dancing, and man, everyone was just really excited. All these girls came up and danced with them, and they were there for like 20, 30 minutes, and they just went and partied somewhere else.
That's funny. That's quite a ways to draw attention. Hey, we're cool, we're fun. Let's all hang out together.
Yeah.
That would be fun to dress up like that. Do a theme night.
Yeah, it wasn't like a theme night. It was just these four guys that just came in there with a lot of personality.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the beach communities is people are just, in my opinion, more laid back and less stressed, and want to dance and have fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good spot, man.
Yeah, so for nighttime activities, that's probably about it. Is that bar?
Yeah.
If you like that music, then you'll have a good time there for hours. Yeah.
Yeah, one place I'd like to explore more is the Long Beach area. I know Long Beach has a lot of great downtown activities and a lot of great clubs, but I've not yet had that experience to go down that far. Yeah,
what is that? Was it Pine Avenue? I think is the big party street there, Pine or Third or something like that. I don't know. It's just a little far away from where I live. It's about 60 miles, so I generally don't spend a lot of time there. Mm-hmm. But I've been there once or twice with some other friends. Yeah, it's like, wow, this place is really happening here.
Yeah, it leaves you with a good memory.
Yeah, it's kind of like a party area.
Yeah, but that's all right. We got plenty of spots in LA to compare it to.
Yeah. So, okay, well, I think for right now, that's probably it for part 2 of where to take someone out on a date in LA, or our favorite places, or what we can think of on the top of our heads right now.
Yeah, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to email us, and we'd be happy to respond.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a forum on our website at the LosAngelesPodcast.com. Just click on the About Us page. You'll see a nice picture of Joe and Jay, and there's a form there where you can communicate with us, and we promise we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
All right.
Well, another fine episode here. Well, let's see. Well, that just about wraps up our show, Jay. So once again, we'd just like to thank our supporters and our patrons for listening. And please check out our webpage at the LosAngelesPodcast.com and think about becoming a supporter on Patreon. And we'll see you again next week, right here on the Los Angeles Podcast.
Thank you.